Let's consider a scenario in which a client uploads a large file to the server. In this case, the request message includes a request line with a post action, a request header that holds the file's metadata, and a request body that contains the actual data of the file. If the client attempts to upload a file to the server that doesn't comply with the accepted formats or exceeds the maximum size limit, it will be rejected.
Why should the client send the entire request when there's a chance the file will be rejected? It would be more efficient for the client to first send a request metadata to the server to check if the server is willing to accept the rest. This mechanism can help reduce network traffic and latency.
For this purpose, the HTTP protocol specifies two entities to enable clients to send partial content to the server. The first entity is the expect header field, which must be added to the request message, and the second entity is a 100 continue status code that should be included in the response message. Let's illustrate this with an example. When a client needs to upload a large file, it first sends the HTTP request header to the server. The request message contains the necessary information about the file being uploaded, such as its name, size, and type. Additionally, the client must include the expect field with the value of 100 continue in the request header.
This field indicates the client's desire to verify whether the server is willing to accept the file, based on the request header, before sending the request body. The server receives this request and checks whether it can accept the file upload. If it can, the server sends an HTTP 100 continue status code to the client.
This response indicates that the server is willing to receive the remainder. The client then sends the request body. If the request body is successfully received by the server, then the server will send an HTTP 200 OK status code to indicate that the upload was successful.
If the file is too large to be uploaded in a single request body, then the client may split it into smaller chunks and send them one by one. In this case, the server receives the initial request and checks whether it can accept the file upload. If it can, it sends an HTTP 100 continue response message to the client. This response indicates that the server is ready to receive the next chunk of data.
The client then sends the first chunk of data in a new HTTP request message. If this chunk is successfully received by the server, it sends another HTTP 100 continue response message to indicate that it is ready for the next chunk. This process continues until all chunks have been successfully uploaded.
Finally, after sending a request without the expect 100 continue header to complete the upload, the server responds with a 200 OK status code to indicate the successful upload.